Yo, what it do, what it do? Um, lot of crazy boxing news coming out today, or coming out this week. You got the Caleb Plant Canelo fight kind of calling off. Some say it's Canelo's fault being the diva. I think we are dealing with a pandemic, so if something did happen, one of them got sick, then Canelo would still get his full purse. But if Caleb Plant got sick, then he wouldn't get his full purse. And Al Heyman would still have to cough up $40 million. That's to fight whoever. Anthony Durrell, I heard, was the backup plan. I mean, that's not really a $40 million fight. I get why the Caleb Plant's a $40 million fight, because it's undisputed. And Canelo's already getting a pretty big purse from the zone. He is crossing the street, as it were. It kind of sucks. I was looking forward to it. I think it would have been a good fight. I personally would have Canelo beating Caleb Plant, just really off experience. I think Plant beating Uzgadagi showed something. Showed he has a decent jaw. Showed he had some power when he sits down on his punches. But since then, he really hasn't sat down on his punches. He's been, sticking and moving a lot. And I don't think it's as easy to really outbox Canelo as people think. Just because Floyd was able to outbox Canelo doesn't mean everyone can. Floyd is Floyd. So that kind of sucks. I was looking forward to it. I'm all for undisputed clashes. I'm always gonna root for unifications more than anything else. So undisputed, I was all for it. But both guys have options. Canelo can fight some 75-pounders, other 60-pounders. Caleb Plant can fight some 60-pounders. Jamal Charlo said he was down to fight Caleb Plant. Benavidez is now saying he wants to fight Plant now they don't got a belt. So you got those two for Plant, Charlo, Benavidez, which actually wouldn't be bad for Plant just to gain more experience. I think that's part of the reason why they wanted to pounce on Caleb Plant now, is because really doesn't have a lot of top-level experience. Canelo's experience on the championship level is night and day above these dudes at 68. Night and day difference. Even at 60 as well, so except for Triple G. So, a lot of these dudes' resumes is pretty light. And it's not completely their fault. 168 is just top-heavy. Not a lot of big names in the division. That doesn't mean they're bad fighters. It's just lacks that pizzazz, lacks that pop. So, right now the division is just top heavy. So these dudes really got to round robin fight each other. But we'll see what happens. I think Canelo is in deep talks with Dimitri Bivol. That's a really good fight. I actually like Bivol. It's just would it happen at 75, a catch weight between 68 and 75, or does he have to come down to all the way down to 68? Now the thing is, they fought, I want to say, about a week of each other. They both fought in May, so that's the one good thing. The only problem is Bivol's coming down in weight, and I don't know how in shape he's been. He's been pretty quiet. He didn't fight at all last year in 2020. I'm definitely a Bivol guy. I've been following his career pretty steadily. I think he's the second best light heavyweight, him and Beterbiev. Would love to see those two fight. And I think Bivol can give Beterbiev some problems, but I think Beterbiev would stop him. Beterbiev is just an animal. But it's not a bad fight. Bivol he's not a huge light heavyweight, so I could see him coming down in weight and not look terrible like Chad Dawson did versus Andre Ward. I don't think it would be that, but I think he would need some time just because it's a late notice. Now, if the fight happened in like October, give him some time to cut down that weight, because I don't know if he's ballooned up or whatever. You don't really hear much from Dimitri Bivol, so it's hard to say. Now the thing is, Canelo's kind of got a late notice too in that regard, so it's not just Bivol has a late kind of notice. It's just what's the weight for that fight if it does go down. If it's at the full light heavyweight, which I say why not. I mean, Canelo's been up there before against Kovalev. Kovalev was a shot fighter, but I think that fight would make more sense if they both had amicable time to adjust to the weight, whether it's Bivol coming down or Canelo coming up. So I think it's a good scrap, but I think it kind of more so depends on the weight. If Bivol has to come down in weight on a short notice, I mean, I'm pretty sure Canelo would beat him fairly well, just off the fact it's short notice and he's coming down in weight. He's never fought at 68 before. Even though he has the size for it, he's never actually physically done it. So we just be going off in theory. Yeah, he could fight at super middleweight, but we don't know how he would look at the weight. It's kind of like what people say about Caleb Plant. He's not a natural super middleweight. He's kind of small for the super middleweight division. Most people think he's really a middleweight. I honestly think these guys are just natural for the division. I think everyone else is just big. When you're talking about you're dropping 20 pounds to make a weight division, that's not your natural fighting class. At least not in the old school of thought. Marvin Hagler was a natural middleweight, he probably didn't walk around bigger than 168, let alone on fight night. These dudes on fight night were like 165. So I think it's more about these guys are just huge for the division. I actually think Caleb Plant and Bivol are actually natural size for the division in the old school of thought. I think today way of thinking is that you're a natural fighter in your division if you're only cutting like 20, 15 pounds. But that's not really a natural fighter in that weight class, at least in my opinion. It's strictly just my opinion. But both fights are solid. It just kind of depends what weight class. So I'm up for either one. I heard John Ryder was also an option. If it has to happen in September, I'd rather it be John Ryder just because I want to see Bivol and Plant in bigger fights. I'd rather see them get a fair chance for it. All this, late notice, dropping down weight crap, that's getting kind of old. Yes, it's been done in boxing. Canelo's not the first one to do it. He probably won't be the last either. But I think, that's a practice that we should try to abolish. Fighters dropping weight last minute, stuff like that. Like, come on, just, and don't forget, Eddie Hearn, I want to say promote or co-promotes Dimitri Bivol as well. So Eddie Hearn's been trying to give Bivol a big fight. Obviously the biggest fight legacy-wise for Bivol is really Better Biev. I'm more of a fan of you handling your business in your division first before you hop up or go down. But it's life-changing money if you fight Canelo. So I don't knock you for taking that chance. And Bivol got the style to give Canelo problems. I just want to see it in a fair manner and whatnot. But we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think. Do you want to see Canelo Bivol, Canelo Plant, John Ryder, just to keep Canelo busy, which I think is fine. I'm not mad at it. John Ryder gave Caleb Smith some issues, so I doubt he'd do anything to Canelo, but yeah, I just think Canelo will probably stop John Ryder. But Canelo's had a lot going on. He just got married. I guess he's got a Mexican TV show coming out, so I think part of the reason why the Plant fight stalled out is the dude has just been busy with everything but boxing, and he had a golf tournament, I think, with Steph Curry and stuff, so I don't think his mind is right for the fight anyway, especially an undisputed clash, whether you think Plant is food or not. So I say if you want to stay busy, fight John Ryder. If not, push the Bivol or Plant fight back. You know, just fight him in October, maybe even in November. I mean, Canelo's a star, so people are going to tune in. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Bivol, Plant, John Ryder, maybe another option. But, yeah, stay tuned. Got more coming.